There you go, baby. What's up? We back. It's another episode of Rated G with Gabby G. Garcia and Brian Licata. We are your hosts, Gabby G. Garcia, along with my brother in misinformation, Brian Licata. We're doing it again. This episode is brought to you by Apollo Buds in Astoria, Queens, New York. If you're out there on Crescent Street in Astoria Boulevard, go check out Apollo Buds. And it's the only spot actually in Queens right now that has the Tyson Ranch strands going on in there, and you can go check them out. Go see my boy Lou. Tell him that Rated G sent you, and get a free eighth with your first purchase. And when you're done picking up your trees, get a little bottle of wine, go home, call someone you love, sit down and get yourself a game of Triple X Playground, roll the dice, and explore the person you love. It's the best way to get fist deep into someone you've been thinking about and caring about. And you can blame it on the dice. It's the best adult communication tool ever made. Triple X Playground. Go to triplexplayground.com and cop one today.
This show is also brought to you by enditwasgood.net, the official home for Rated G merch and a bunch of other stuff over here from my boy John. He's got our mugs up here, $15 a piece. They keep your drink colder, warmer. Even, it's thermic nuclear pyramid energy that's in these, actually, Gary.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
It sounds very scientific.
Yeah, well, it's something.
It is very good to see you. It's very cool to be on, and hopefully, we get some people on to listen to us live. That's always fun.
We do. We actually
shit. What's up, baby? Own, please. Oh shit, I'm right on time tonight, and we're glad to have you here, baby. I'm not gonna lie. Before we even get into this, I'm gonna let you know, Brian. I'm a little bit moody today.
Uh-oh.
I'm a little bit in the mood, So if I snap at you, or I tend to be a little overly sarcastic with you today, please bear with me.
What ails you, my friend? And of course, as a good friend to you, because I love you so much, Gary, I will be, if I have to be a pincushion for you every now and again, I'll take that, because that's what you do as a good friend. Sometimes you're just the person there to take the beating,
That's yes. I have been the punching bag sometimes, for my friends. I'm just feeling a little, I'm feeling like I got to make some changes that I'm not, they're not comfortable. I feel like I got to put myself in a position of discomfort for a while.
Okay.
And I'm not really happy about that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I think it could be a bunch of things. My birthday's coming up in 2 months. If I make it, I'll be 53 if I make it. Like I said, you start looking at those numbers. Please, I didn't do anything. I'm not doing anything to get there. It's not like I'm trying to make it for 2 more months. I'm just, doing my thing. And hopefully I'll make the other. It's looking good, But as you start to, hit those ages, you know what I'm saying? You start to hit the age 53, shit like that.
Right.
I start looking at how much time I actually got to accomplish the goals that I'm setting for myself, and it makes me start to think seriously about how to make that happen. And I don't know if being comfortable is necessarily what's going to get me where I want to be.
Well, it's rare, my friend, that you grow at all in places and situations that you're comfortable in. It's some, definitely I would say you do. I mean, you're comfortable on stage, I would say, and you always grow, as a comedian on stage, but I'm sure there's uncomfortable situations you might learn more.
Yeah, I mean, I ate the biggest dick I ever ate in my life on stage tonight.
Damn.
Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so we're coming on that.
Yeah, it was the biggest.
Two?
It was the worst.
Two?
The second one I did. I redeemed myself on the second one, but it was a small crowd, and at that point I was just like, whatever. I kind of G is short for grandpa. Actually, I'm not a grandpa, dog. No grandpas here, baby. No grandpas here. I got no grandkids, man. No grandkids. I'm very happy to say that. Maybe in another couple of years, I might appreciate some of them. But right now, I don't need no grandkids in my life, man.
So yeah, talk to me. What's going on? What else is
Nah,
going
I
on?
don't know. It's well, I know why I ate a dick, and I'm not gonna really actually share a lot of it right now, but because I just don't want to throw people under the bus. I'm tired of doing that shit. And I'm not the type of person to really put a lot of dirt out there. That's I'm not looking to shit on anybody tonight. Just because I'm upset that I ate a dick. Ah, shit. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We got a guest tonight with us, man. You just brought us. You just brought her in. You didn't even give me a chance to prepare for her or anything. You just brought her right in.
Yep.
Well, whatever. She's been with us before. She's here with us again. Model comedian Kay Herman. Kay, how you doing? How you feeling?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I was just telling him I'm a little moody today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just finished eating a huge dick on stage. It was actually the worst I've ever done. The only time I even came close. Yeah, I didn't connect with nobody. I looked like I didn't know what I was doing up there. My mind was just like all over the fucking place. It was a weird feeling. I'm not really used to it. The only time I ever ate a worse dick was at BB King's, and that was probably like my 4th show I ever did.
So it's like me on Monday nights.
Nah, I mean, you did good yesterday. You did good yesterday, and you did good the week before that too. I mean, sometimes listen, Monday nights is tough shows. It's midnight shows. People are drinking. It's
crowd
drunk.
too, right?
Yeah, I mean, it can go either way.
Yeah.
It can go either way. Last night was a good crowd. And what are you talking about? Last week, everybody in the show follows you afterwards.
Oh yeah.
100% of the show followed you afterwards. We had 4 people.
It was the best I've ever done.
They were a good 4. That was the one I was telling you about, Brian. The Seek. They was like Seek. Were they Seek?
Oh yes. Yeah.
I like those people.
Yeah, I was telling Gary after that show we were talking about it. I said all the Sikhs I've ever met have been super cool.
Yeah, they're the best.
Yeah, I guess they usually are. And none of them ever got mad when I said sick, because that's how I thought it used to be pronounced. And they would just say, no, it's pronounced Seek. They would never get upset that I would say sick. They never got upset about it. I feel like there should be an E at the end of that.
Like psych.
But then it would be psych. Yeah, all right. I don't even know how. Yeah, there should be just 2 E's, right? Seek. S-E-E-K. Isn't that how you spell seek?
No, I like the silent H.
English language is horrible.
Depends on which one you're looking for, bro.
I guess. Yeah, so I was just saying, Kate, how like I'm just in a little bit of a mood right now. And it's not just because I ate the dick. It's because of all the reasons I ate that dick. You know what I'm saying? Like I know all the reasons behind it. And it comes to just being challenged, and it comes to like you said, growing. I mean, you have to ask yourself, am I growing in the situation that I'm in? It's a great situation I'm in. There's a bunch of people who would, for them, this is what they're just trying to do. But for me, I have bigger dreams, man. So I'm in a position right now where I'm just thinking about having to be uncomfortable again, And I'm not going to lie. When you get closer to 53, putting yourself in uncomfortable positions ain't as easy as they used to be when you was in your 30s and even your 40s, or your 20s, like you guys, you young motherfuckers.
I'm in my 30s, bro. Not in my 20s anymore.
Really?
I'll be in my 20s forever.
You shop at Forever 21 on a regular? Just to psych it in your head. Forever 26?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
It just seems like a chill age.
I'm trying to think. 26. 26, I was having 26 was good. I had my son. I was doing the dad shit, And it's so crazy because I always say it, like when I was doing that shit, I felt like that was it. That was it. This is what this is my life. This is what I'm gonna do. Raise these kids, become a grandfather, like this dude said, you know what I'm saying? And I figured that would be what I do. And then, boom. Shit changes. I've lived 2 other lives since then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I built myself up and fell and built myself up again twice since then. It's crazy. And now
I could not imagine having a kid.
I'm getting ready to break everything down again. You can't imagine it?
No.
Is that what you said?
I literally can't imagine it.
What's so hard to imagine? Well, yeah, actually, I don't know. I don't know if you'd be a good mother. You'd probably
I wouldn't. That's like why, like somebody literally.
I'm not even saying that to be bad. I'm just saying, like,
no, but you're totally right. somebody a week ago, a dude, like an old dude, was like, "Oh, you'll change your mind, like about having kids." And I was like, first of all, maybe you don't know, but you're not allowed to say that to me anymore. And second of all, like,
You're not allowed to say that.
no, dude, you can't tell me that I'm gonna want to have a fucking kid. Like, are you insane? And also,
But you're
he's
not
like,
allowed.
you
Well, I
should. And
mean,
I was
listen,
like, why
Mike.
should I? You don't know shit about me, dude. Like, I live for my vices. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
Like,
you would give
I'm
a
a
kid a
selfish
lot of
motherfucker. Like,
anxiety.
what are
Look,
you talking about?
I feel like if you spoke to him a little longer, he would have took that back.
I know, right? You'd think, but he's like one of those, like, fucking,
I mean, it's a
literally just like,
dumb. See, what's so crazy about that? Just sticking to the whole thing of how you're not allowed to say that no more. It's a dumb comment. It's an insensitive comment. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the
yeah,
person receiving it. I mean, if you really don't give a fuck, then you don't give a fuck. The person says it. That's like when they say to a couple, when you guys gonna get married? When you guys gonna get married? Bringing all that tension that wasn't there when you first showed up. Y'all weren't even thinking about that. Now you got people asking, when you gonna get married? The same thing. When you gonna have kids? Then you get married and you don't have kids. When you gonna have kids? They're always when you're gonna
I'm
stay the.
also like so squeamish. Like, I couldn't imagine actually, like, ugh. Like, I couldn't do it. You couldn't do it.
I mean, but I will say this though. I feel like he should be able to say that though. If
Why?
he's a dick, the same way you could be like, "You're a dick. You haven't even talked to me." You should be able to answer that back, like call him a
Yeah,
dick. But
yeah,
I
yeah, fine. But it's like,
because he should
but it's this thing.
because
Like, when I say I don't want to have kids, like, then you just like accept that. You don't
yeah,
say like you'll
yeah,
change
sure.
your mind.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. If
my
you say
daughter
like
don't want kids.
what?
My daughter don't want kids.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's like you don't say to somebody, "Oh, you're wrong about your opinion about what you
Right,
want to
right, right,
do."
right. Yeah, I can see why you say it's demeaning.
No, I
You
mean,
don't think so, G?
no. I think it's stupid, and I do think like I agree with you 100%. Like, who the fuck are you to tell me what I should do in my life? Of course, but people do it all the time, and it just comes down to like people do that shit all the time, just like a grain of
No, totally.
it's
It's like
like
a
water off a duck's
generational thing.
back for me.
It's a
You know,
generational thing. It's like when people didn't know they couldn't say the N-word, you know? I feel like it's exactly on par.
well, I think people kind of always knew. There was a certain point people always knew. It just wasn't like
We didn't do
you
anything
know,
about it.
it wasn't front page. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't just like out there and so whatever. People always knew.
When do you think that stopped in movies, like all the time? Because if you look at some Tarantino movies that aren't like that long ago, all over
The
the
Tropic
place.
Thunder one? Is that what you're talking?
That's true.
They didn't. I don't think did they say it?
No, but they had Robert Downey Jr. in blackface, bro.
Yeah.
Like complete.
Well, you know what it is, man. Is that yeah? That's the thing.
He
They did
still
like a.
defends it. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, he still defends it. I would defend it too because the funny thing was, it wasn't like it looked lunatic. Like it looked like
It looked good.
like it
looked
looked good. You know what I'm
It
saying?
didn't
It
look
wasn't like the
Robert
way they
Downey.
used to do. It wasn't like the way they used to do blackface, which was actually black. You know what I'm saying?
It was
And
like
just like on
shoe. It
their
was like
face,
shoe.
shoe
Shine.
polish or something.
Should I?
Yeah, I
pull
mean
it up?
that's ridiculous. But that was like the story behind it and everything. It was funny. You know what I'm saying? Like it was funny. Aren't something
That was a great movie, man.
something's done
Fucking
right.
awesome
It's yeah, when he said he loved the kid, then he's running and the kid's on his back stabbing him. And then when he blew off the dude at the very beginning, when he had the dude said, blah, 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 blah. It was a good movie.
Top to bottom.
It was a good movie. It was funny. And that's the thing. The thing is, if it's funny, and of course, everyone might not think it's funny. Everyone might not think it's funny, but I don't know. I thought it was funny. So to me, if it's funny, then it's not, you know what I'm saying? Then it's not offensive if it's funny. But I guess anyone could take it any way they want. I guess if you find it offensive,
you're
you
not.
find it offensive.
You're white, dude. Ish.
Who, me? I'm jaundice. I'm kind of a very light tinted yellow. I mean, I don't think any of my peoples that I grew up with would have cared. You know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, it's always, and there's a thing of intent.
Yeah.
You know, like what is your intent behind what you're doing? I don't know. But like you said, yeah, I'm not
Yeah, well, what was his intent to tell me that I was wrong and that I'd changed my mind? Also, it's like gross. It's like, what do you think with you? Like, get out of here.
What was it? Was it old man?
Yeah,
there was an old man in the bar, or was it just a bum?
No, it was like he's like a person that I talk. He's just like an idiot, but he like owns like a club, you know. So it's just
Ooh.
like, you talk to them and then I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
But like you said, he's old.
Yeah.
So he's also old school.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a
So he comes
generational
from a
thing.
time, yeah, he comes from a
He
time
didn't
when,
let it
well,
go.
that's what women wanted, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just think like,
No, I'm not mad
I'm
at him.
I'm I'm happy that you didn't like,
I was just annoyed.
blast him on Instagram and TikTok or some shit,
I would never. You can't meet two
you
people
know.
that like don't really like nobody cares about. You know what I mean? You can't go after somebody that people are like, so they have nothing anyway.
But you should also just go, that's what I'm saying. There's some people like that are just either ignorant or just stupid and dicks. Some people are dicks.
I know,
Like
and I just hate that we like
we
share the
talk
same
about
thing.
being accepting for everybody, but nobody ever accepts dumb, ignorant dicks. Like we have no tolerance for them people,
You can't.
you know.
I got into an altercation this weekend. Gee,
What
You got
happened?
into an altercation?
I got into a verbal altercation at the mall.
Really? Do tell.
So okay, so I'm living in San Francisco now, Kate. Right?
Hmm. Congratulations. Oh, do you just have a hurricane or some shit?
There's a lot of rain. They like keep talking about it like it's that big of a deal.
My cousin was like, the whole house is shaking like it was in an earthquake, and then there was like a tree down.
Yeah, it's like windy. I don't know.
Are they telling you to stay in the house? Are they doing
No,
lockdowns?
I don't know, man. I'm not watching any of it. I'm kind of pretty much out of tune with that kind of stuff. I just go outside, and do my thing here.
Is it raining like really heavy? Where do the
Yeah, I mean,
homeless people go when it rains like that? Do they just stay bunkered in?
well, it depends on what part of the hill they're on, but usually they go with the water down.
Yeah, man, that's fucked up, man.
Okay, so
Wait, so what was your altercation?
Yeah.
So I'm in the mall, right? And I want to get a new pair of sneakers. So I go in, I'm checking out a couple stores. Usually I'll do like, the run between the couple 3 stores and see what the best option is, there, right? So I found an old pair of Diodora sneakers. They were like white with like gum bottoms, just like kind of like an everyday kicking around white sneaker. And the kicker was they were $20, right? So I'm like, bet. I'm just going to pick up a pair of sneakers for $20 right now. Who cares, right? So,
I kind of care,
why?
but go ahead.
Yeah, what? 20? What do you have a
20
problem?
bucks.
$20. Do you want me to show
$20
you
sneakers.
what they are?
$20.
Do you want me to show you the sneakers?
I don't know, dude. The first thing chicks look at are your shoes, and they could tell a $20 pair of sneakers.
But dude, they're $100 pair of sneakers, right? But they're a style from like the 70s and 80s, right? That I'm sure
Okay.
they had from last season, and they were
All
just
right.
hanging around in Foot Locker.
I
they're
imagine
not
you
like-
got it for $20. Rock and roll, man.
Well, I didn't get them.
Oh, you
right?
didn't? Oh, what happened?
I didn't get them. So
Here it comes.
the beginning of the altercation starts when I take the shoe off the rack and I hand it to the girl and say, I would like this in a size 11. She looks at me, she says, okay, and then puts the shoe down and then just stands there at the counter, right? And I'm like, I know you're not just like the girl at the cash register, like it's Foot Locker, like go get it. But she waits for this other dude to come out. He gets done with somebody else, and then she hands him the shoe. So now
Okay, so maybe she is just a cash register.
Nah, bro, there was nobody in line. There was nobody behind me. It wasn't like that. She just, kind of.
Well, maybe like but maybe it's like you can't like one person.
Maybe she's
has
not
to
allowed
say-
down there.
Yeah, they have like protocols. Maybe
Yeah, maybe they found her down there fucking one of
they
the other
created a
employees. Now she's
triage
not
out of the
allowed
people
there
who
anymore.
needed shoes and decided.
You could be right that this is the most efficient method. But after I'm going to go through the rest of the story, that was not the most efficient method. And if that was their plan for the most efficient method,
Nobody said it was the most efficient. Oftentimes, big corporations like that have the least efficient methods because, like, they hire a dick manager who just like does stupid shit and like
Now we'll continue, right? So now I go through the process, right? I try the shoe on. I have to go back and get the other pair, right? Because the size didn't fit, so I got to size down. So I get 2 of the other sizes. I decide I want the shoes. I put them on. Now I go up to the counter, right? So as, I'm going to pay, I slide my card in and the girl's like, can I get your email address? And I said, no, can you please just print me a receipt? And she says, I can't print you a receipt. You have to give me an email address. And I said, actually, I don't need to give you an email address. You could certainly print it, right? Couldn't you physically print me a receipt? And she goes, and then mutters some shit underneath her breath, right? And says, fine, I'll just print it for you. And then I said,
Which you should have done from the jump.
So then I said, oh, you could do it. I said, now, was that difficult? Thank you for doing that. We didn't have to go through all this. Why did you have to be rude to me? Why didn't you just print it from the beginning? You know, like there was no need for any of that. This entire process has been aggravating, and there's absolutely no reason for you to do that. Please, next time someone asks you to do that, please just print a receipt, right? Because this is, you know.
I like that you're looking out for the next guy. I like that,
bro. Ridiculous.
It wasn't about you. It's about the people that come there after you and don't want to give their emails.
So she doesn't, obviously she just stands there, doesn't even respond, right? Which I wouldn't really say anything. And I have to say in retrospect, I was definitely a little harsh, you know, in my tone and everything like that. Because I was angry, you know, I was super angry about that. So now I got the credit card in the machine and I pull it out and it just keeps doing the little spinning logo. It just keeps spinning and it just keeps spinning. And I say to the girl, it says remove the card. And she's like, well, then take the card out. And I was like, oh, thank you. It is out. And she starts hitting it. She gets all frustrated. She's like, well, it's not working. We're going to have to bring you up on the other machine. So I said, all right, fine. Like, can you cancel this out? And she's like, no, it's frozen. And then the other girl chimes in, right? And she's like, it'll be canceled. It's okay. I was like, well, how do I know that the card doesn't get charged twice? She's like, no, it's canceled. She's like, I know it's canceled. I said, great. Again, you know it's canceled. I don't know it's canceled, right? I said, fine, whatever. So now my fiance who's sitting over on the seat, I'm like, hey, do you have any cash on you? Because it's like 22 and change, right? And I got $20 on me. She hands me $2, right? So then I go on the counter, I throw the 20 down, I throw the 2 singles, and then I just grab the sneakers, right? So as I'm turning and walking, the dude walks in front of me. He's like, bro, where you going? I was like, what do you mean? I said, I got the sneakers, 22 on the counter. You owe me 4 cents, but I'm going to let that go and I'm just going to leave. He's like, no. You have to wait for all this, you know, transaction process, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, all right, you know what? Whatever. Went back, put the shoes on the counter, grabbed my money, walked across the street, and then bought a $100 pair of Nikes from the other place.
I would have, in all honesty, I wouldn't even have put them on the counter. I would have tossed them right over the counter. Take your fucking shoes, and I would have snatched my money. Are you fucking insane? I would have put them on
and then kicked her.
That is, I was getting more aggravated as you spoke. That's the problem with these fucking places, yo. These people just don't have plain old common sense. And they also just aren't good. The other day I went, 2 days ago, I went to the Hamilton Mall. Oh shit, Mike, what up? Goldilocks. My man Mike Ferguson, yo, that's my dog. I got some stories I could share with him. He was there the day I got banned from Bally's.
Oh.
He was there with us when I got banned from Bally's. He acted like he didn't know us. He laid in the cut.
Like you see what I'm saying, right? Like, I mean, was I wrong to get angry about the email address? Kate?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'm the wrong one to ask. Because it's like ADHD and PTSD, like I get triggered like by like little things. I'm like making to like a giant explosion. Like when there's like an actual crisis, I'm like very calm. But like when it's like this shit and then it doesn't make sense, I like lose my mind.
Me too.
Like, can't handle it.
I have no patience for that shit.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm just like, I'll just fucking do it. Let me do it. Let me come.
Dude, it's crazy because Saturday I went to go get sneakers. I wanted to go because I had a gig. I need new kicks. And I had that extra gig that I did that paid me pretty well. So I said, okay, I can afford to get like, I wanted to get 2 pairs. I was just going to get white on white Air Force Ones, which is what I always get. But then my son turned me on to the black on blacks. And he's like, Dad, you need to get the black on blacks. And I'm like, why? And he goes, you don't know what it means when you see someone wearing black on blacks, Air Force Ones? And I said, no, what the hell does that mean? And he goes, dude, that means that dude is crazy. That's a dude you don't want to fuck with. I said, what are you talking about? I have never heard that. Then I Googled, what does it mean when you wear black on black Air Force Ones? And are you looking that up right now? Is that what you're doing, Brian?
Yeah.
And what does it say? What does it say?
Have become a symbol of someone who does not care at all about himself or anyone else. They're wild and you shouldn't mess with them. This is actually where it comes from, which Kate, you'd probably find this interesting. It comes from the Steelers. The Steelers started doing it on the team.
I'm assuming Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown were still on the team.
2022 season.
Oh, it was 2022 season. Never mind.
Yeah, but it came from before. It's from before that too.
I never heard that shit, but all I said was, I'm going to get me a pair of black on black Air Force Ones. So I go to the mall, can't find the black on blacks anywhere. So apparently there's a lot of crazy motherfuckers around now, right? But they tell me we got the white on whites. And I go, you know what? I'll grab the white on whites. I said, do you have 8? He goes, let me go look in the back. Then he comes back and he tells me, and maybe I could be the dick here. I could very well be the dick. He goes, we have 7.5 and 8.5. I said, so then the answer is no. You're trying to tell me a size too small or a size too big? I told you the size I had. Your answer is no. Why are you wasting my time bringing up 2 other sizes that I did not ask for?
Yeah.
Fucking dummies.
Can I tell you what I found today? So, you know how...
please,
round robin.
Please share. Please share.
So, you know how I like to gamble and shit? So I have like this degen... Yeah. So I have like this degen chat that I'm in, and they're from like all over the country. And so a lot of them use like these offshore books that have crazy ass things like, what year will the first woman walk on the moon? And it's like, who wants to tie up their money for like the next forever? Like, you know, but like, you know, so I was like, yo, is there a bet? Cause I use like the legal one. So like, they don't have like crazy shit. So I was like, yo, can you bet on if Trump will be arrested tomorrow? Like, this is like last night. I was like, and he was like, and then we like made jokes about it. But then this morning he was like, yo, you can bet on it. It's like up. And then they had a whole list of like Trump specials. Like, it's like what the category was called. And some of the odds are fucking brilliant.
Let's hear them.
It's like, well, now I have to find it.
Well, he didn't get arrested today.
He didn't. I know. I thought that for sure the odds would be like on him not getting it. And that's why I was like, I will Venmo you right now. Like, I want all my money on that. Because I knew he wasn't. You know what I mean? Like,
he did not. I mean, he shouldn't. If he does, it's a very sad day. It's huge. I mean, it's very huge if they arrest him.
Well, I just like that it's because of the porn star. I'm like, that's what they got him?
That's what okay, so here we go. Odds he'll turn himself in.
No, there's one though that was like odds that he will be reelected in 2024 and be a defendant in a trial or whatever. And the odds were only 1,000. I was like, really?
The colored tie.
It seems pretty.
Well, they got the colored tie he's gonna wear.
There's.
I wonder if the guy will smile.
Dude, tasered or pepper sprayed.
Oh, wow.
I found it.
Yeah.
It was.
What about will he smile or not in his mugshot?
Trump to be convicted of a felony and serve time in prison before 2025 is plus 1,800. I really like the one where he wins the election and is a defendant in a criminal trial during the term of office.
Yeah, I would take those. I would definitely I would take those. What is it? What's the line on that?
That's only plus 1,000. That's why I was like, I get better odds when the Jazz are down 5. You know what I mean? You know, and they somehow do win. But then this is minus 1,250 Manhattan DA to indict Donald Trump in relation to campaign finance / falsifying business. It's so specific. And it's like absolutely going to happen according to the odds. It's just so funny to me. Just that they have it.
It didn't happen today. Do you think supposedly it's supposed to happen tomorrow? Supposedly they're saying it's going to happen.
Well, the odds for that, for him to be arrested on today was plus 125, but Trump to be extradited from Florida to New York is plus 300. So that would be that, right?
Yeah, but he said he'll turn himself in.
True. Yeah. Then you're not extradited.
He said a lot of things, yo.
Yeah. Did you see what my son sent you?
Yes.
Oh, wait, so my son, my son didn't put it in, but somebody put into AI. What was it? AI.
That's probably Dolly
pictures or whatever.
Yeah.
And they said
AI pictures.
What is it? AI is what? What is it called? I say it wrong because I don't know what the fuck
it's
it is.
just
I'm
it's
asking you
just
what it is.
it's AI generated art is how you would was
Oh,
what you would say.
all right. AI generated art. I
Yeah.
didn't know. I thought the name of it was called AI pictures. I don't know what the fuck it's called. I don't care. I don't use it. But somebody did, and they said to do pictures of Trump being arrested. And Brian,
Yeah,
could you
yeah,
please show these pictures? There.
yeah,
First of
yeah.
all,
I
that
have them
AI
up.
shit is scary as fuck. This is what this shit created. Someone put it in to put pictures of Trump being arrested. And this is what this shit fucking created. And it's crazy because it looks like real shit. Look at this shit. Look at that picture right there, yo. Look at that fucking picture, yo. It looks like, yo, that one's
That's so
great.
good.
The juke move, dude. He's trying to put the juke on.
That is insane. I think it's safe to say technology has gotten too good, right?
Oh, bro, we're there, dog. We're
Like
there.
that chat GP whatever it is, whatever
GPT, yeah. Yep,
GPT is like it's scary. Like somebody was I was like, "Oh, like write a poem about that using chat GPT." And it came back and it was like basically like my fucking life and I was like, "How did it know?" It even had like that it was like a stand-up comedian and then it talked about doing something with a self-checkout machine. And I was like, "How did it know?" I know it's scary. But guys, the odds, look at this last one though. Trump to win the Nobel Peace Prize in 2023 is plus 5,000. That is a lock. That is a lock.
I mean,
That's so good.
he was the only president in how many years that we weren't in war?
Well, I mean, there were definitely wars going on.
Yeah,
They
kind
you
of.
know that we weren't in war.
Well, when did the Russia-Ukraine thing start? Was that in Biden? Was that
That was
this recently?
Biden.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Biden.
Because I mean, we're basically, I mean, we're funding that entire war.
Yeah, it's a proxy.
Well, yeah, just because we can't go do it ourselves. But we did that whole like pull out of Afghanistan thing. It's like anti-war kind of war crime.
So last time you were on the show, it was a while ago, but I remember that you was really enjoying the January 6th trials.
Yeah, those are dope.
So my question now to you is, have you seen any of the footage that was released by Tucker, where it shows like what was actually going on inside? Do you know about the do you know about the dude with the horns, the QAnon shaman that they said was like leading the pack?
Yeah.
And that he was a violent protester. They got mad footage of him walking around with the police. The police are like escorting him through doors. He's walking around peacefully by himself too, just with the cops, him and the cops. They actually led him
I
to
don't
that
even
room.
think it was so much that he was like violent as much as he was definitely like he was like high about it, you know? He was definitely like
he was actually very mellow, and he said a prayer for the cops after they let him into the thing, and he was actually very mellow, a very mellow
dude, he's
dude.
like his like whole like backstory is like he's like an Arizona like ayahuasca meditation vegan dude. But like that's what I mean. Like I don't think they were painting him as that. They were painting him as like
no, they literally painted him as the leader of the insurrection, what they're calling the insurrection.
Yeah, I mean, but they're not saying like he's like Proud Boys leader. They're just saying like he was in there like hanging out like totally like disrespectful.
No, what they said was he was the leader of the crew that went in there, that he was leading them, and that he caused all kinds of
We're gonna have
damage.
to agree to disagree on this point because I don't think that was like really their main intention. But like,
he's doing 4 years.
Well, yeah, because he fucking broke into the fucking Capitol.
He actually walks into an open door that cops are holding the doors open.
You're not supposed to be in there. You're not supposed to be.
It's a public building.
Okay.
They do tours in there all the time. It's a protest. The other day, the LGBTQs protested in there. They went in there and protested.
I thought that was like we all agreed on that part.
But the funny thing is, though, is that cops opened doors. People incited them, which were probably FBI agents who incited them because they said they had FBI agents in there. And they didn't arrest none of the people who they have on video actually inciting them, saying, we got to go in, we got to go in. I forgot the dude's name. What's his name? The dude in the red hat that keeps telling everybody they have to go in, they have to go in.
I don't know.
And the people who broke the window were probably fucking CIA, FBI agents. We know for a fact they were in there. And when you're in a group of people, and when you look inside, the people are walking in single file in lines. They're staying within the ropes. They're not even going over the ropes. There was things that were on the floor. They're picking them up.
They
and
showed
putting
all
them
this
back where they
footage, though.
belong.
They showed all of this footage.
No, they didn't show all this footage.
Yes,
This
they
footage
did. I
just
watched
came
all
out.
of it. I've seen this footage. If that's like what
When
you're talking about,
it just got released, like
no, it didn't,
2
dude.
weeks
I
ago.
watched them all in between the
When?
ropes. I made fun of it.
When they were, so is that a riot? They're in between the ropes
because that's only part of it. They that's editing them, because you didn't see all of it. That's part of it.
I don't think
no one's denying.
Hold on, let me interject on both of y'all real quick, because
no one's
one
denying.
of y'all have seen all of the footage.
No, I haven't seen all the footage.
No,
one's seen
nobody's seen all of the
I
footage.
saw all of
it's
it.
40,000 hours.
The shit that both of y'all are watching was fucking edited.
Of course.
Well, it's edited in the sense of there's also a lot.
But they still showed the guys in the in between.
It's 40,000 hours of video. A lot of that video is empty hallways, nothing going on. So of course you're gonna cut that stuff out. But as far as is it manipulated?
They took it all from
it's edited, but is it manipulated? There's no reason we should think it's manipulated. They're not even denying.
I'm saying I don't understand what your big point is here. Like, what's your big
point is that
do you want to see the clip he's talking about?
Yeah, show the QAnon dude.
All right,
show the QAnon dude.
All right, let me get it queued up.
They painted this dude to be a violent insurrectionist.
Yeah, hold on. Let me. Okay, so a little bit of background on this is some people who were inside the Capitol had footage that they gave specifically to a Fox News anchor, right? And this happened over the past 2 weeks, and he's been releasing.
No, that's not who gave him the footage. The person who gave him the footage was the dude who runs the House. That Republican dude who runs the House now. He gave it to him, and the reason why the reason why he gave it to him is because he asked for it, because it's public footage. He asked for it. Anyone else could have asked for it. Nobody else asked for it.
But they already said that they were staying in between. There's already been this
But what I'm saying is they're painting it as a violent insurrection.
Because a lot of it was, and just because at moments.
But where's the insurrection? Where's the weapons? Where's the planning? In order for it to be an insurrection?
It's all the people with zip ties, like the cops that got, you know what I mean? Like the people.
What cops got what? Cops got what? You know, no cops got killed, right? In the footage, they show the cop that.
No, that cop.
First of all, the cop that they said died, right? He didn't even die. They said he died there. They have footage of him after the time they said he died, waving people in like this. Play that footage. The dude was alive after the time they said that he was dead. The dude didn't die from that. In fact, exactly. That's the question. What happened to that cop? Because the footage, which you're seeing with your eyes, says that cop, he's walking around with a helmet too. And they're saying that he got hit in the head with a fire hydrant. And that's what killed him.
Not a fire hydrant.
Extinguisher.
Excuse me. Extinguisher. That's what I meant. Extinguisher. Not one cop got killed there that day. Only one person died, and it was a woman who got shot by a cop. And she was unarmed. And so was everybody else. They're holding flags. Where's the weapons? Are you telling me these people thought they could take over the government with their hands?
I mean, show the footage where they're literally
They broke through the windows. There was some rioting going on. But if you compare what went on there,
zip ties.
Wait a minute. But if you compare what went on there, and this is the problem that I have. No, I'm not saying that there wasn't rioting. No, I'm not saying they should have been in there. I mean, you go in there, now that dude's doing 4 years. That's what happens when you want to go out there and protest. Shit like that happens. But if you look at what was going on before January 6th, through the whole summer, the rioting, the looting, all that shit that was going on, that Kamala Harris went and got money to get them bailed out. Meanwhile, that was violent. They lit a church on fire, one of the oldest churches ever in Washington, D.C. They lit it on fire. Why ain't those people in jail? This dude's getting 4 years for walking around with a bunch of cops. They could have easily have just took him out, but they didn't. They brought him into the spot. There's a lot of things going on that the problem I have is that, yes, there was, people broke the windows, but who are those people who broke the windows? And the ones that did, some of them got locked up already. They deserve to be locked up if they were breaking windows, no doubt.
Yeah.
But you're treating them different than the way you treated all the Black Lives Matter protesters who was lighting shit on fire, tipping over cop cars. Those people were not doing that. They were protesting because there's not a weapon. Who thinks they could take over the government without a weapon? What is the you made it into the house. So I
Gary,
guess
just watch some of the other footage then too.
I saw all the other footage. I've been watching. That's all they ever showed. And I'm down to see footage. Like I said, I'm not trying to say that there wasn't violence. People got injured. Cops got injured. I think it was 100 and something cops got injured.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, it's not like they didn't have weapons.
That's fine, but that didn't happen. Most of that didn't happen inside. Most of that happened outside.
No, inside, because once they're inside, then they were looking and screaming like to hang Pence and kill Nancy Pelosi and like they're like hunting.
That's what they told us.
That's what I saw in the videos. They were like, "Where's Pelosi's office?" and like banging on the doors, like trying to get in, like all that shit. It's like, it's scary.
In the video, they also showed a dude with his feet on the desk, and another dude comes in and says, "Get your feet off the desk. We have to respect this place."
Yeah.
In the video.
Yeah, I saw that video.
Does that sound like people that are like, where's the damage? What was the damage in there? I would like to see that. What was the damage?
They did damage.
The windows got broken and stuff like that. I want to know what
the
damage was.
Dude, I get that there was like times, like, but you gotta like.
Nancy! Oh, Nancy! Nancy!
Does that sound like someone who's actually?
Where are you, Nancy?
About the same time, Capitol Police announced that Capitol had been breached. Speaker Pelosi's staff heeded the call to shelter in place. On our model, you can see the riders in the rotunda in red and the Speaker's office again in orange. So this is a security video, so there is no sound. As you can see here, the staff moves from their offices through the halls and then enters a door on the right-hand side. That's the outer door of a conference room, which also has an inner door that they barricaded with furniture. The staff then hid under a conference room table in that inner room.
It sucks.
And at any time were people trying to break down that
This is the
door?
last staffer going in and then barricading themselves inside of the inner office.
Okay.
After just 7 minutes of them barricading themselves and the last staffer entering the door on the right, a group of riders enter the hallway outside. And once inside, the riders have free reign in the Speaker of the House's offices. In this security video, pay attention to the door that we saw those staffers leading into and going into. One of the riders you can see is throwing his body against the door 3 times until he breaks open that outer door. Luckily, when faced with the inner door, he moves on. Another rider later tried, unsuccessfully, to break through that inner door.
Yeah, so 2 dicks.
At this point, the mob had already broken into the Speaker's formal conference room that is in the back of the hall at the top of the video.
Texting right that they're within our hallway. We need Capitol Police, I think, coming to the hallway. They're pounding on doors trying to find her. Yeah.
Where's the video?
You can hear the pounding.
No, it was just audio, bro.
In the background.
It was just
as
audio.
that staffer is speaking.
It was just audio.
Where's the video? The other one they showed the video. It was one asshole, which in a group of a bunch of people, you can have assholes. And like I said, I'm not saying that people, but did the whole group try to break in the door to get to her? No, it was one dude banging on the door and then he walks away the minute he breaks through. Where the fuck is where's the mob mentality of trying to get into that room to get to those people? I don't see that. That dude should definitely, he's a dick. He should get locked up. He's a dick. I have no problem.
The mob mentality was like getting in and then I don't know. It's just so crazy.
But is that taking over? Is that trying to take over? Were they trying to take over the government? That's the question. Because that's what an insurrection is.
Yeah, they're trying to stop the process of our democracy.
In what way? How is them getting
What
in
do
there?
you
How
think they
did
were
anything
doing
get
that
stopped?
day? They were counting the electoral
Protesting.
votes. No, I'm
No,
saying,
they
what do you think they were doing inside the Capitol?
Yeah, they were doing
They're doing the electoral college.
Is that what they were doing?
Yes, you idiot. And then they went.
Wait, first of all, I'm giving you opinions. I'm not
I
calling
say-
you an idiot.
I
I know
say
you call me
it's a-
that on the regular, but I'm not going to let you call me that on my podcast.
It's a term
Second
of
of all,
it's a term of endearment in my
second
family.
of all, no, you call me it all the time. I know the way you are, but people don't know how we hang, so I'm not going to have that on my podcast. But I will
An
say this
idiot
because I'm
fuck
being
is actually the
respectful.
highest level of love.
We
that I
have
can
different
show
opinions,
somebody.
and I'm fine with that. But what I'm saying is, even if they would have stopped the people from counting, how do they
It's not
take
counting.
over?
It's like
How-
a ritual. It's like
Hold
a
on.
ritual thing where it's like,
An
and then-
insurrection means they were trying to take over the government and establish a new
literally
government.
they were doing
and
the most
establish a new
important
government.
government business that we have, and they went in specifically to stop that.
Is that what they went there to do? No,
Yes.
actually, they went there.
Yes.
Actually, you're wrong. They had
No,
a
I'm
permit.
not wrong. My pet.
No. So
They had a
listen,
permit
so
to protest that day.
They had
What were they protesting? The electoral college, the vote.
Right. Yeah, they were
Yes,
protesting.
and
the
they're
vote,
not allowed. And they're not allowed to protest the vote.
They're not
They're
allowed
not
to go
allowed-
to the Capitol when all.
Hold on a second.
She's saying you can't go into the building, bro, when they're counting the votes.
That's all fine.
That was
That's
the
all
time.
fine. But they go into the building. Okay. Now they're in the building. Is that an insurrection?
Yes, they
An
halted the process of like transfer of power. It's like one of the biggest points of our government. They tried to stop that,
How about the
and
fact?
they did.
How about the fact that they showed that that on the other side, it was called "Stop the Steal"? What does that mean? It was called
That's
"Stop
what they.
the Steal."
That's what they were like chanting and
That
stuff
was
like
their
that.
protest. Was
Oh, "Stop the
called.
Steal." Well, they were protesting the fact that they changed all the rules. They used COVID to use a lot. But wait a minute, Ma.
No,
You
they were
can't throw away the fact that it's been proven that there was shenanigans on the other side, starting with the fact with the whole Twitter files and the fact that they were hiding things that would have changed the whole election without even them.
Which actually has come out too about the Biden laptop, which has come out to be true, which was censored on Twitter back then. That is true.
Specifically because they knew
with
if it came out,
information about Biden and Russia, or Biden and his son dealing with money in the Ukraine that we're now at war with Russia. That was a shit. His son Hunter was working for Gazprom, which is a Ukrainian petroleum company that Joe had fucking money in.
Yeah.
And now we're at war over
and
there.
Fucking Jared Kushner is sucking the dick of
With
the
you.
Saudi
With you.
Arabia. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah,
care
with
about that
you.
shit. I'm just
That's
trying to tell Gary that on January 6th, people got all fucking heated
But
and
here's the
had
thing.
zip tied and crazy, put nooses up.
on January 6th, on January 6th, they already had a permit. They had a permit
to
to
go into the
to
Capitol.
where they not to go into the Capitol. They weren't there. They got incited to go into the Capitol. And just like any mob, when the front starts walking in, the back follows. Just like any mob. That's what happens in a mob. Now, was it a riot? Sure, I'll call it a riot. But do you know what an insurrection is? Most people don't. An insurrection means that they went in there with the purpose to overthrow the government and put in a new government.
Correct, because they were going to put in Biden and they wanted them to put in Trump. Like, what you're literally describing what happened.
That's not what happened.
Yes,
they didn't try to overthrow the government at all. Yes. At what point did they
try to stop them from putting Biden in power so that Trump could be in power?
So you're saying that that's how you do it. You just walk into that house.
So that's how they tried to do it, Gary. I'm not saying it was the best method.
The president wasn't even there.
No,
Biden wasn't even there. So you
he wasn't even the president yet. Trump was still technically the president.
Biden wasn't there and Trump wasn't there. None of the presidents were there.
No, Trump talked at the rally and told them to march down and go stop the fucking steal.
That's not what happened, Mahat.
That's what happened.
That is not what happened at all. At all, that is not what happened. And here's the thing. Trump wasn't there. Biden wasn't there. So now they go in there. Hold on a second. Let's say it's exactly what you said. Let's say they went in there to take over the government with no guns, no weapons. They went in there with sticks at most, right? They go in there now. Now they get in there. Okay, now they're in there. Now what? How does that take over the government?
Because they stopped them from counting the votes for the
So that's
electoral
all it
college,
takes
and then
then. To
tried to
take over the
find
government, we
Nancy
just have to
and tried
stop
to
the.
find all these people to kill him. And the whole
They
thing
try
was
to
so that
find people to
Trump
kill
would be
him?
the president instead.
Do you honestly think that person going Nancy was
I'm
literally
not
looking to
defending
kill
the
Nancy Pelosi?
intelligence of any of these people. I'm not saying that they were capable. You're asking me if I know what an insurrection is. I do, and this is one of them. They literally went in
Really?
to
An
overthrow the
unarmed. When
government
have you ever
and
heard of
put
an
Trump
unarmed
in.
insurrection?
What?
An unarmed insurrection. When have you
No,
ever heard
yo,
of that?
listen, G, I'm with you on 90% of the stuff that happened on January 6th. But the point that Kate is making right now about them intervening on the electoral college is a check in the box that I can see for stopping the democratic process. 100%. I'm with you
Yeah,
on that.
no doubt. Just like all the freaking voting booths that went dead, and then they had to start writing in
100%, but that's
ballots
not
in
what
a
we're talking.
box
Yeah,
that
that's not
they
what.
all
That's not what.
admitted they never looked in the box to see if there was anything in it before they started putting shit in it. And then within a couple of hours, all of a sudden, he got more votes than Obama? Are you fucking kidding me? And you don't think anyone should question that? You don't think that that's your constitutional right to go out there and
But we're
protest
not
that?
talking about
Of the
votes.
several hundreds arrests made, not one person was charged with insurrection. The word is used for degrading purposes only. I agree with you, Richard. And listen, I love you, Kate. We just have different opinions. That's all. And I look, you're allowed to have your opinion. The problem that I'm having is simply that to call it an insurrection says to me they were trying to take over the government.
Oh my God.
How can you take over a government that has a military with no weapons? You can't. What would have happened if they took over the building and they said, we're not leaving, this is our building? You know what would have happened? SWAT teams would have showed up with weapons,
So I wonder,
and they would have got them out the building.
No, they thought that they would all get scared and say, okay, Trump won. We'll say it.
Exactly. They would have bought SWAT teams. They wouldn't even have to bring the military. They would have just bought a couple of SWAT teams. They would have showed up with AK-47s, and they would have said, all right, get out the building before we start shooting y'all. And guess what would have happened? They would have got out the building. So much for the insurrection. Maybe next time we should bring weapons.
Yeah, so most defendants, this is from Wikipedia. Most defendants face 2 Class B misdemeanor counts for demonstrating in the Capitol and disorderly conduct, and 2 Class A misdemeanor counts for being in a restricted building and disruptive activity. The median prison sentence for those convicted so far is 45 days, with those who've committed violence facing longer incarceration. Other punishments including home detention, fines, probation, community service. 10 members of the Oath Keepers, including founder Stuart Rhodes, were arrested and charged with seditious conspiracy. Right, that's like one of the heftier charges. Mm-hmm. Over 940 people have been charged in the Capitol case. Okay, here, yeah.
And they're getting ready to charge another 1,200 people. They're going back to the video. They're doubling down, and they're getting ready to charge another 1,200 people.
Yeah. So on May 27th, Judge Carl Nichols dismissed the most serious felony count in the capital prosecutions in the case of U.S. versus Garrett Miller, and dismissed the felony count of whatever this charge is. I don't know what charge.
18 U.S.C. 101 in the case of the United States represented by attorney.
Yeah, we see what that is. Falsifies, conceals, or covers up any trick, scheme, or material fact. It's like lying about something, falsifying some shit.
Yeah, it was it was a violent insurrection. Most of the people were not violent. Some people were violent. Some people were dicks. It's gonna happen.
Mostly felony or mostly misdemeanors, also.
So my thing is, it's just not what they're selling it as. Charge these people for what they did. They trespassed, misdemeanors. There you go. Little ROR or whatever, released on your recognizance. Or some people have to do some fucking. If you damage something, then make them do some fucking whatever.
Some time.
Yeah, but these did not time. Clean up some highways and shit. You know what I'm saying? You got violent offenders getting out. Those people are getting out. They're killing. They don't care about the people that are killing people in the streets. Do you know New York? The murders in New York City alone has doubled over 50% from 2019 to 2021. Over 50%. It's insane.
I kicked a
It's
rat
insane.
the other day by accident that was like the size of a possum. It almost broke my foot. It was insane.
Even the rats, even the
It was
fucking rats is
insane.
insane. I don't like
It,
walking to
it
my car.
literally ran right over my foot as I was walking, so I just drop kicked it by accident. And they went flying, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I looked, and I thought it was a possum. That's how big it was. And then it
It's
scampered
horrible.
along with its other rat friends.
It's
Ugh.
horrible out there, man. The cities are falling apart, and they're trying to put this dude in jail for some whore that he slept with,
Or
and
that he
they
paid.
call it, and they got people believing that this was a violent insurrection. They try to take over the government. It's ridiculous. Give these people their misdemeanors. Look at the charges. They're misdemeanors. Meanwhile, the violent motherfuckers all around that were burning, tossing over cars, burning police cars and everything else, those people got out. They're not being charged. Who's getting charged from there? Look up that.
What are you talking about? The George Floyd protest in
Yeah, the
in
George
particularly
Floyd
that one?
protest. Yeah, what was the biggest charge on that?
Which one? The one in Minneapolis or?
I don't know. Pick any of them. They were all fucking insane. Pick one in Chicago or Detroit. Let's see what they were rocking with, man.
All right, we'll do Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Love you, Kate.
But they were in the Capitol, I think, is the main thing.
That's so it doesn't matter.
During official government business.
It's,
It's just a little
man, yeah.
different. That's like the big. That's
Man.
the big
It's
difference.
our capital. At the end of the day, it's the people's capital. This is a government run by the people for the people. That's what it's
Yeah.
No,
supposed
it's
to
not,
be.
dog.
It's not anymore, but that's what it's
not,
supposed to
nah,
be.
it never really has been, man.
But that's what it's supposed to be.
Listen, dog, we got kings and queens, bro. They just look different. You know, the buildings are different. You know, the same families are still running the same shit that they've been running for 1,000 years. You know,
Look, I'm not going to change the world.
We talked about that on this show before.
I know I'm not going to change the world, dude. I don't got that influence, but I'm just saying, man. I just don't like the bullshit. I don't like the you know, like trying to make this shit look like that's the same thing they did with Trump when he had the fucking when they found the what was it, sensitive the classified shit in his thing, which they knew he had, and he was the president, and he could declassify anything he wants at the drop of a dime. He could just say this is declassified. Boom, it's declassified. That's it. So he's allowed to have that stuff. But then they find that shit in Biden's garage. And Biden wasn't the president.
I actually have a conspiracy theory that I like, and it's an MH371.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
I would love to get into that. Did you watch the documentary?
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet. But let me
Oh my God.
let me pull up
It's
these.
so well done.
I want to pull up these George Floyd things, and then we can put this shit to bed. Okay,
Right.
so this is from the Minneapolis ones that took place like shortly after in June of 2020, right? Minneapolis officials pursued charges for 75 of 666 cases, which is a little weird. I'm not going to lie. It's a little bizarre related to the unrest. I would have arrested one more or one less person just so that number was a little bit different, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That was a little bit. Yeah, exactly. 666. I didn't even pick up on that shit, yo.
By a year later after the arrest,
would've
95% of misdemeanor citations given to protesters have been dismissed. In the immediate aftermath of Floyd's murder, former NFL star and civil rights activist Colin Kaepernick donated a substantial sum of money to a legal fund to defend protesters in Minnesota and elsewhere. The Minnesota Freedom Fund, a nonprofit organization, received $35 million in donations. Public figures and celebrities such as Kamala Harris, Steve Carell, Cynthia Nixon, and Seth Rogen were among those praising the organization's mission on social media. Later drew criticism, whatever.
For bailing people out of jail at random, including those charged with violent crimes and sex offenses, unrelated to the protest. That's a very part you just try to jump over, dog. He's like, okay, whatever. It says among those, they gave this shit mad props. And what else did they do? They also let go people. They got people off that were up there for violent crimes and sex offenses unrelated to the protest. So these people sent money to help with the protesters. And they took that money and said, while we're at it, let's get some sex offenders off the hook. And let's also get some violent offenders off the hook.
91 people also faced felony charges for burglary connected to looting, 35 in Hennepin and 56 in Ramsey counties. All but 3 of those charges were from Minnesota, and most had home addresses in Minneapolis or St. Paul. Nearly a third of all charges resulted in the cases beyond resolved through diversion or restorative justice programs. So it's like pretrial diversion, PTI, or whatever. The number of felony charges represented a small fraction of the total people culpable for rioting and looting. The nearly 1,500 people property locations were damaged. Criminal charges by a year later had only been filed for damage related to 11 properties.
How many got damaged?
1,500.
1,500, and they only hit
And the rest of the
11
convictions
people.
were on the cops. The killed the guy. Which they should. Those cops should go down for that. I'm not going to argue that at all.
Yeah, I'm not sticking up for the cops. Nor, let me tell you something, nor am I a Republican. I'm not a Republican. I just don't like the bullshit of like, trying to paint one to be like worse than the other when everything you accuse the Republicans of is shit you do. That's the crazy shit.
I don't disagree with that. Like
that's what gets me. Now they're saying the Republicans wanted to defund the police. Motherfucker, there's thousands of videos of you guys saying to defund the police, and you did in New York City, where the crime rate has risen beyond fucking belief. That's the shit I don't like. In other words, just fucking come on, man. I'm not like I trust either one side, but I'm just saying, the left is the side that's doing all the crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the right might be trying to fuck us, but they're trying to make their money. They're trying to fuck us and make their money. These motherfuckers are trying to fuck us. They're trying to like change everything.
Yeah.
Men, women, fucking everything. It's like
you can't get the abortion pill in Wyoming now.
I don't need to ask where you stand on that. You already know.
Yeah, I want to know about. Yeah, let's talk about the plane. Move on.
Yeah, let's talk about the plane.
Okay, so MH370 is the Malaysian Airlines flight 370. So this plane, and I remember when this shit happened.
Yeah,
it was in 2014. The plane left from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia to its planned destination in Beijing. Right. It took off. 38 minutes later, it was over the South China Sea. Went off a radar. They didn't find shit. Right.
Just disappeared. Poof.
Whole plane gone.
Gone.
Now, I haven't watched the documentary because I've been flying a lot recently, and I haven't really wanted to watch it.
It can be a little tough, but it is interesting because I don't usually get down, but there's no other theory than like, you know what I mean? Like it's this same thing. But the way that they do the documentary is they go one by one and like the different ones, and so they build it up. By the time you get to the third one, I'm like, that's the fuck happened. And it's like nuts. So like the first one is just basically that like, suicide by pilot kind of like, like that's like the first theory that people had.
That he
and
just drove it into like the ocean?
Yeah, but even like that doesn't really make sense because really it would have to be.
They would find, and they would also find data of the plane going down.
And so
because it went poof off of everything.
So he would have had to have like made the plane go dark, like taken himself off of everything, knocked out everybody back there in the back of the plane, and then set it on like a course pattern that like takes it off the trajectory course, and killed himself and just let the plane go for 6 hours. And like there's zero, it makes no sense. Like if a pilot's gonna do that, he's just gonna, he's not gonna take 6 hours, you know what I mean? So like it just doesn't make sense like the more you think about it. So that one got nixed pretty quick. Then the second episode, but still really well done. Then the second one was that it was like the hostages, like it was like Russians and stuff that like took the plane hostage and flew it to Kazakhstan. And they're in Kazakhstan.
I thought it was China. Number one, I think it's China. I thought it was China from number one.
Well, it's Kazakhstan in the documentary, they said.
Yeah. That was always I'm just saying that was my theory from the beginning.
Yeah. Your own theory was you thought it was China.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like that's like that whole theory, and it's interesting. But it still takes a lot, and everybody that like works on like they interview like everybody that has that like makes the stuff, the flying mechanisms and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, there's like a company. Anyway, but like even that company didn't know what they were capable of finding yet. So they were like, how would somebody know how to manipulate a program that we didn't even know how to use yet?
Okay.
Wait,
You
what?
know?
Say that again?
So like in order to like do what they propose a
Like take it
hostage
off the
situation would
radars and
take,
everything.
in order to make the plane go dark, like all this shit, they would like this theory was developed after they found out that they could track like the course of the plane or whatever. And so that it would actually, and like that you could invert the course of the plane. So actually, instead of going over the South China Sea, it went up to Kazakhstan. And you can do that. You can manipulate the software, they found out, but only after this went down. And so that whole thing was like that they manipulated the software and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, we don't know how they would know how to do that when we didn't know that we could do that.
Okay.
Interesting.
And what's the third one?
Third one is it flew over a military base and it was intercepted by like our planes. And it was like, and he was told to like fly to China, like land somewhere. And the pilot was like, no, I'm just going to stay the course. And like we def shot it down. Like
The U.S. You're saying it
Yeah.
flew over a U.S. base?
Correct.
Over what country? In what country?
In the South China Sea.
So we have a base in the sea? What do you mean?
Yeah,
like
of course we have. I'm like, there's like islands and shit.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's what you mean, like an island base in the South China Sea.
Yeah.
You know what I think? I think the pilot spilled his coffee. That's what I think. I think he spilled his coffee. It went into the fucking shit. Started and the fucking thing just veered off. It went dark because it just wiped out all the shit. I mean, I once broke a fucking.
But you would find the plane. And then there's this one dude. Nobody could find pieces of the wreckage. And then there's this one guy who happens to find like 200 pieces over the course of like 5 years. He's the only person that's ever found pieces of the wreckage. And he has like all these ties to like Russia and shit and like all these other countries. Wild.
So they have found pieces then.
But only this one dude has found pieces. Like
well, how many people are looking?
Everybody was looking. Literally, countries sent out search teams.
Yeah. So
for years in the worst parts of like the ocean.
Well, the South China Sea is always been known. That's like a hot spot that China has always tried to keep locked down. You know.
Yeah.
That's always been like a very contentious area because like Hong Kong and like Taiwan and shit are through there, like through Vietnam and the Philippines. Like China has always wanted to control.
So what about like the Bermuda Triangle? Don't planes like disappear over there all the time?
Yeah.
Not all the time, but hasn't it happened? Isn't that why they has the whole thing about the Bermuda Triangle where planes have just disappeared?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And they weren't able to find the wreckage or nothing? Maybe it's just a glitch in the matrix. Maybe they entered into a different realm.
That's what I was thinking, and how jealous I am that they found a portal.
Aw.
It's like lost.
I hope you find a portal one day.
I
want to find a portal.
I'm sure you'll find one before I do.
I don't know.
You know?
I tried
maybe
to find
not
a bunch
because
of
you're looking for one. That's not something you can find by looking for. You have to stumble into it.
I think when we hit that asteroid, it did something to, because this definitely isn't the same reality that I was in like 2 years ago.
It's not. No. It's not.
No.
Yeah. I've actually been seeing some stuff on the deep webs that they're saying that the Earth is preparing for a pole shift, and that's kind of what's coming.
That's not even the deep webs. You can find that on science blogs and like written in journals because our core, it's like all about like our core, but our core rotates and shifts every 15 years or so.
No, the pole, not a huge magnetic shift. The stuff that I'm talking about is like a massive magnetic shift where north goes south and south goes north. That happens like every like 15 to 20,000 years, if not longer. That happens.
I don't believe you, dog.
Dude, but yeah.
See, when you start talking all those years, you start throwing all those years, man. You start sounding like that fucking dude. What's his name, man? That science dude that I can't stand.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't like him on this show.
Can't stand
I
that
like
dude.
Bill
Man.
Nye.
Who's
The
that?
science guy.
Okay, every 300,000 years, according to NASA, is when the poles will shift.
Sorry, NASA. I call bullshit.
So are we talking soon, like 5 years, or soon, like in like 1,000 years?
Well,
500.
they don't like listen, and that's why Gary doesn't like a lot of this stuff that we talk about, like that goes back. But I mean, bro, truthfully, the information that you get now in the present is just as reliable as the information that we get from 10,000 years ago.
You think?
It really is, bro. It really is. To me, I give it just as much weight because I don't believe anything that I read anywhere anymore. Not after all this shit. Not after.
Well,
not
history
after 2
goes.
years of this fucking show.
We do know history goes to the winners, but what I'm saying,
yeah, and current history, like current events, go to the person who's in charge of the pen. History goes to the winner, but whoever's in charge of the current pen controls what's said worldwide. And the internet
he's the winner.
It hasn't changed it. It's just amplified it. So now there's even more information, and it's even harder to discern between the true and the false.
Which is just how they want it. That's exactly how they want it.
That's how it's always been, dog. Oh, my light went out.
Something always goes out with you, man.
I know.
Fucking guy.
I got a little more lighting now.
That's a pole shifting.
Oh, I like that lighting. It makes you look like you got a little bit of color. You've been looking a little pale lately. Yeah. It's not your fault. He should look for Atlantis. Who should look for Atlantis? Mike Merck, what's up? Who should look for Atlantis? The world is trans. Well, now they're trying to say, I actually saw a thing the other day where they were saying that God is trans. I'm like, man, people are looking just to go to hell in a handbasket. Believe it or not, but if you do believe it or if it is real, that's where you're going, kicking that shit. I'm not even gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's like, why even fuck with it? That's my attitude. Like, why even fuck with it? It's like there's certain things I won't, certain things I'm just not gonna fuck with. I might not believe it or whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? You might tell me if I do something but certain shit I'm just not gonna test. Like I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna try that thing because we saw this thing with the Teslas. And they said if you put a ring of salt around the Tesla, it can't drive out of the ring.
I kind of remember that.
Hold on, let me pull it up.
Yeah, so and if you notice, like in all those witch movies, that's how they do it. Like in Hocus Pocus, the ring of salt keeps the witches.
Well, yeah. It's like one of those Wiccan practices.
Well, if salt around my Tesla makes it not move, let's try it. So basically all you do is put a ring of salt around a Tesla like this, and it's supposed to make it not drive. So we're going to test it out. I bought a ton of salt, filled this entire bowl up completely with salt. Felt really cool. Then I backed my Tesla into the middle of the cul-de-sac and poured the ring all the way around it until it looked like this. It was really weird. And now it was just time to test it and see if it actually worked, which it failed. So I put it in reverse and it also failed. So let me know what else I should try.
Maybe it's because he did an oval and it's supposed to be a circle.
Of course he has a Tesla.
He's got 2.1 million subscribers.
Well, he's better. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't fuck with it. I went to go see my daughter and my son-in-law, and he has a Tesla. And I was talking about it, but I was afraid to try it. Because what if it didn't pull out? I don't want to be in that realm. I don't even want to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if it worked? There's certain things I just don't fuck with. Like I never said Candyman 3 times in the mirror.
Yeah, I get that.
I thought it was Bloody Mary.
I never said that either.
If I say team I knock on wood 3 times. And then I make everyone around me do it.
If you say what?
I make so many friends. What?
If you say what?
If I say a team that I like, or they're gonna win or whatever, I knock on wood.
I got you.
Yeah, I don't think that's quite the same, but
Superstitions.
I'm sure you make a lot of friends. Yeah, superstitions. You're right. Okay, there you go. Do you ever play slot machines? You don't play slot machines, right?
No.
You just strictly bet on gambling? Who you waving at all creepily over
No,
there?
no,
He
I
does
do.
slots.
I love slot machines.
Oh, you play it.
I
I
love
thought
it,
you were
dude.
waving at. I'm
Bing,
like,
bing,
who you
bing,
waving
bing,
at?
bing. 20 lines, max bet. 20 lines, max bet. Wheel of Fortune. Bing, bing, bing. Spin, spin, spin. Yeah,
I won a
I don't-
fucking jackpot in Atlantic City. I went down with Jerry, and then he came over with his drunk ass and hit spin again. And I was like, "You're so stupid. You're so stupid. I hate you."
But what? You didn't bet the same. You didn't lose the jackpot.
Yeah, because he hit spin again. I was like about to hit cash out, and then he hit spin again.
Yeah, but how much did you lose on the spin? Not the whole jackpot.
Not the whole thing, but like, you know.
a lot.
Yeah, why even spin
Yeah.
again? You just hit the jackpot. I'll never forget the time I was playing this one machine. And I kept playing and I kept seeing the jackpot going up, you know. And it was in Bally's. And Bally's every now and then would let me win. And I was feeling like this machine's gonna hit soon. It was up to like 6,000.
That's what I did. It was the only one that I played. My sister
I
does the
kept
same.
going back. Then one day I'm like, yo, let me go over there. I know this machine got my money. And I'm just about to sit in the chair, and this little old lady muscled me. Boom, bumped me hard and sat down. I was ready to get angry, but it was an old lady. So I said, fuck it. Let her heat up the machine a little bit. Her second spin hit the jackpot.
Beautiful story.
Yeah, man. So I robbed this bitch, right? Now I'm only playing. Sucks, man. I was so upset. I did have thoughts of the old days, but I didn't. I walked away very angry. She literally pushed me out the way too. Fucking 6,000. I could have really used it. She didn't even need it because then the husband waddles over and he's like, "Oh, your second jackpot this weekend." I said, motherfuckers,
She earned it, man.
the fuck out of here.
It's a lesson
She
for
didn't-
you, dude. You never
she
let
didn't
an
need
old
that
lady
shit.
body. You never let an old lady body you for the
Yeah, next time you
for the
yank,
money
next time,
machine.
I should have yanked her out.
Oh man.
I went soft. So we don't even know. So what do you think tomorrow? You think they're gonna arrest him?
I mean,
It was supposed to be today, wasn't it?
Yeah, but now they're
Yeah.
saying tomorrow they're gonna convene and vote on it.
well, because they have to indict. Isn't it like the indictment or something?
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't know.
really know how it's
I personally think it's a horrible thing.
I just think it's funny for like everything that people have tried to, they finally got him with Stormy Daniels. It's like all back to the beginning. I swear to God, we are at the end of like the universe. Like we're just spiraling all into a black hole. Like it's just glitch after glitch after glitch after glitch. It's all like you can see really.
Yeah, man. I saw a video the other day, man, of a bird like that was
That's
dead in the sky.
Dead in the air. I know.
Yeah, you seen that? You
Yeah.
seen that video?
Yeah,
The
we
dead
saw it.
bird?
Yeah, we looked at it. We watched it on the show, right? Yeah, we watched that. We watched it on the show.
Did we?
We watched it on the show.
I feel like glitches are like happening to me all the time. I'm just like,
We had a couple. I mean, I had my own experience. We had Jason Scoops. He was on the show. He had a recent glitch.
yeah.
I never really seen any glitches.
You probably have. You just like choose not to. Not like a dead bird in the air, but like, you know, just like weird shit.
Nah, I never like. Nah, I never seen anything that made me go like, "What the fuck is that?" Never.
No, but they like can happen to you too. Like where like you swear that you were just like doing something.
Well, I mean, I do have a lot of those. What are they called? The Mandela
No.
thing.
Well, not the Mandela effect is when you have a shared, like when a group of people have a shared false.
Well, I'm
memory.
saying that's the only thing that I remember. Me personally, I remember
What
things
about
being
what
different.
about deja vu? Do you ever get that?
I've
I
had
used to-
deja vu.
Yeah, I used to get that a lot.
Yeah.
That's always super weird to me.
I've had deja vu a couple of times where I was able to change the outcome.
That's what I
because
mean. That's
I realized I dreamt this and I actually remembered what was about to happen. So I changed the outcome. Like one time I saved my man from breaking his nose.
there you go.
I remember because what happened was we were doing cocaine in the park. Right? We were young. I was like probably like 19. We were doing cocaine in the park. He had the cocaine and he went into the building. And I was like, yo, dude, where you going? Because that's when cocaine was good. And whoever had the cocaine, you still with that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So I saw going into the building. I'm thinking this motherfucker going in the building, take some hits. So I'm like,
bad cocaine that changes, bro.
Nah, you just don't care, I don't think. But either way, I see him going there. I'm like, yo, where you going, dog? So I go to follow him. And as I'm walking to open the door, I remembered I had this dream where I went in there and I smacked him in his head. And that's what I was going to do when I opened the door. I had the idea just to smack him in the head. But in my dream, because I smacked him in the head, we start fucking around. And I hit him and I catch him in the nose and I break his nose in the dream. But when I realized it, I said, ooh, I'm about to go in there and smack him in the head. And I said, fuck it. I walked away and I left him in the building. I saved him from getting a broken nose. Because that's what would have definitely have happened. It would have, because this is a dude that me and him had like 2-liter bottle fights. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like where you have 2 little empty 2-liter bottles and you just whack the fuck out of each other with it.
Mm-hmm.
We used to go hard, vicious.
Is that like Mumfreeze or Mumbo or whatever it was? Mumfreeze?
Oh, Mumfreeze was a good game.
Mumfreeze, yeah, Mumfreeze.
My friend and I, there's this stupid bar on our block that people like wait in line for, like real losers. And so we would go by all the time and like you would like punch me in the stomach or whatever. And I'd be like, you're not killing another one tonight or whatever. Like you'd like turn around and just like slap me across the face like really hard, like or whatever. And one time this girl, he did it, and this girl, nobody ever did anything, you know? And this girl just, you hear go, you can't do that.
Did he really smack you?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to do this with you.
I mean, we used to fake fight all the time.
I want to go around New York and smack the shit out of you.
That's
Let's do
that, man. It was like just terrorize like this line of people.
I would love to do that.
Just loser bot.
Oh man.
It was so fun.
Do you have did you do any shows tonight? Did I ask you that already?
No, I didn't. I had to work, so I was there. I got home at like 10.
So what you got coming up?
I don't know. Survival.
Don't we all, man, on a day by day shit. It's gonna get better, mama. I told you. I only roll with warriors. You know, right now I'm feeling it, man. I'm a little fucking like, ugh. You know, not to mention my tooth is hurting. Yeah. So that ain't helping. But I finally set an appointment to go to the dentist. I'm going on Monday.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I got to get this shit fixed. It's been like 3 weeks.
Dude, my friend got his and he waited forever and he's still like dealing with like jaw shit. Yeah,
that's why I'm like this right now. Because if I push right here, it actually like feels better. You know, you find that weird spot on your face to take the pain away. So I'm sitting here like this because if I push right here, it takes all the pain away.
You don't feel it as much.
Yeah, man.
Oh, proud of you for getting that fixed.
I got to, man. I worry about my teeth, man. You know?
You gotta go.
I don't want to have none of these missing. I got big teeth. It's bad enough they're not white. But then I'm afraid to do the whitening shit because then I feel like I'm going to have those big, bright white teeth.
That's what
you know what I'm saying?
No,
I feel like I'm going to look like...
That's desirable.
Yeah, I don't know. Too white. I don't know. It's like, I don't want them so crispy. I feel like they'll look weird. Maybe it's just I'm so used to them being jaundiced like the rest of me. But it's like, I feel like I look like, what's his name? Matt Dillon in Something About Mary. Remember when he overheard her saying that she likes a dude with like white teeth, so he got his teeth all bonded and shit. He showed up and he had like the big teeth.
I don't know that, but
I haven't seen that.
I'm gonna get the scene.
You don't remember that? That was a great movie when it came out.
I only remember like clips of that movie because I was like little when it came out.
Oh, you gotta make me feel old.
I
am. I'm fucking old. I don't give a shit. You know?
Yeah.
I don't care, man. You know, I don't think the youth is gonna live as long as my generation.
No, the average lifespan now is like 100 years for like the next generation.
You think so? Live longer, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Than most of y'all motherfuckers, yeah.
Dude, like 50 years ago, medicine used to be still like medieval.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of advances.
Well, I wouldn't know. I mean, I really don't fuck with a lot of medicine. I do fuck with a lot of drugs.
Early white.
Yo, I don't want to be like that, dude.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't
It
worry.
just looks weird.
You're gonna be missing teeth, not.
Don't say that. Oh, don't say that. Oh, pressure right here. Oh, I gotta get this tooth fixed. That's like I don't want to miss no teeth.
I know you want to have them all, at least the ones in the front.
Yeah, I guess you could miss some in the back, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to miss any. Right now, I got them all. I got all my choppers, man.
I would make them take out like 2 teeth. I don't want it to be uneven. They put ones in though. Like you don't just have to have it like missing. They put it.
Nah, I don't. Yeah, I know, but I don't want to have to go through that whole thing of putting like post and shit. Ugh.
I don't know why I brought that up. I didn't think about it.
It's making my whole
everything
thing
hurts.
Dentist, fucking nuts, right?
I know my dentist is always like, "You're such a good flosser," and I'm like, "Idiot, doesn't even know."
You obviously take care of your teeth. They show.
Yeah, but I don't floss.
Shows.
But
but when you look
I
at
just had
all
the
their tools,
does everything. What?
All their tools look like torture tools.
Oh yeah,
they are.
All of them.
They are.
They are. Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Marathon Man. That's before your time.
The whole 9 yards.
They torture someone with a dentist stuff?
No, but he was a dentist.
Oh.
A suicidal dentist.
Stepfather, I think, was a dentist too, right?
It's probably all that stinky breath, you know?
What was the movie where the dude was a dentist and he killed people because they didn't because he caught his wife giving blowjobs. And he was a dentist and he caught his wife giving blowjobs. And whenever people came in with dirty mouths, he would kill them and torture them with the fucking. I think it was called The Dentist. That might be the name of it. Look it up.
Probably. That sounds like an apropos name.
Great movie. I thought it was The Stepfather, but it wasn't. I think it was called The Dentist.
An extremely successful dentist goes off the deep end after he catches his wife cheating on him. 1996.
Yeah.
5.3 out of 10 stars.
Ooh.
It's a good movie. He didn't just catch her cheating, man. He caught her giving her. That's what he caught her doing. And then it like popped in his head. So dirty mouths were like, your mouth is. He would see like dirty mouths, even though their mouths were like clean. I don't know what he would see. Fucking cum dripping down their lips. And then he started giving them drills, going in with the big drills. Ugh.
I don't think I could handle it.
I don't like going to the dentist, man. And this one's right like along the gum line. It's going to be a horrible fucking cavity.
I chipped my tooth during COVID and I had to wait until you could like breathe on people again to get it fixed. And it was the worst.
Cavities are through the roof because of the mask. The doctor said that one of the things with wearing the mask is it kept the bacteria in your mouth that you should be getting out of your mouth, and it gave people a lot of cavities. I'm not saying that's why I got mine. I only got one, and I didn't really wear the mask too much.
Mouth syndrome.
Is that what it's called?
Emerging oral health threat during the COVID-19 pandemic. This is from the NIH.
Yeah. You just got to brush your teeth.
But no, you got those people that were driving in their cars with it on, fucking keeping it on outside, walking, most of the day with it on. And then they're wondering why they got cavities now. Because they were breathing their own yuck mouth.
Yeah, I had to wait until June. That's when I could get it fixed. And I chipped it.
Ooh, a chip too.
March or something. And it was on a stupid, you know what it was? It was around Easter because it was on one of those like Italian almond candy things that are so good. Idiot.
I did that like 2 months ago. I chipped this tooth. I just got it fixed. Now I gotta get this one freaking.
Why aren't those banned?
The cookies?
No, the almond candies. So
Do they even got jawbreakers anymore?
I don't think so, man.
I used to love those giant ones from like, I don't know, mall or like Quincy Market or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, well they had this. Yeah, I
It was
never really
like
got
giant,
into
and
them.
like I was a kid. Like this is why I don't want to have kids either. Like imagining me keeping and like looking at that job for like days, I would just be like, "You're so disgusting! Like get out of my house."
You just throw it out.
My
That's where you
mom, I
gotta
think my
go.
mom like ended up probably doing that at some point.
Yeah,
My
that's how I
sister,
would
I'm
do.
sure, like hid hers like in her pillowcase, like a real fucking savage. You know. One time she hoarded her Halloween candy underneath her bed, and like my mom didn't know until there was like an entire like ecosystem like bug infestation like in her.
I used to throw the food that I didn't. I was a picky eater, and they wouldn't let me leave the table until I ate the food. But then what would happen is they'd all be done, so they start doing their stuff and walking around. So what I would do is I would run into the kitchen, and I would scoop it into a sandwich bag, and then I would throw it into the cat's house, and say that I was done. And then I would go back and take it out of the cat's house and throw it into the garbage when it was garbage. So I would throw it underneath stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it worked so much that I started getting lazy, and I would just throw it into the cat's house, and I would forget. And then one day the cat couldn't get in the house, and it kept like meowing because it couldn't get in the house. And my mother went to look at what the problem was, and the whole thing was filled with all this food that I didn't eat.
That's
Because I didn't want to eat it. Yeah. And then my pops was like, "You're gonna eat it now."
No.
And I was like, I looked at my dad and
I
I
would throw up.
was terrified of my pops. And I looked at my dad and I said, "I didn't eat it when it was cooked the first day. What makes you think I'm gonna eat this now?" I said, "I'm not eating that." He said, "You're not getting up from that table till you eat it." And he threw all the slop on the plate. And I just sat there.
I'm gonna throw up.
Because I'm a rebel.
How
I
long
was
did
like,
you sit there for?
probably like an hour. And my mother was like, "You're not eating that." And she took the plate, and then but she let me sit there for an hour, probably like an hour. But I wasn't gonna eat that. I didn't eat it when it was fresh.
Yeah. There's no way, dude. I wouldn't do that either. No way.
I wouldn't be able to. I would. That's why, like, I couldn't do Fear Factor.
Oh yeah.
No way.
No, I'd be like, I'm afraid.
Not because of the. I could do all the shit that's physical. I'm not afraid of that shit. Like I could jump off of shit and all that. I
Nah,
can't.
if they wanted me to go into a tank of spiders, I'd be like,
Nah, I
go
can't fuck with shit like that. Nah.
Get out of here.
That and like the shit they eat. I'm not eating no cow nut. You know what I'm saying? Monkey
Yeah, I don't like the
penis.
texture of a lot of. I won't even eat foie gras. I think it's gross. It's like cat food.
What is that?
Exactly.
I
I
never
don't know. I
heard
went to
of
a
it,
fancy
but
person's house and I was like, no, thank you. You can
no.
keep that.
Foie
Eat it to your
gras.
God.
What's that? What's that? What am I hearing? What was that? What is that?
Oh, foie
Is that
gras.
you? What is that?
Might be Kate. Can you hear us, Kate? You still there?
Yeah, something went out on your end.
Oh
Kate,
yeah, on your mic.
on your mic. No. Your mic kind of went out. There you go.
My computer's been having issues, so.
All right. Well, either way, we're gonna
But
wrap
I
it up
reset the
anyway
SMC
because
so I could come back in. Proud of me.
Kate, where can they find you?
I'm at Scotch the Cat on Instagram.
Scotch the Cat. Why Scott? You got to change that. You got to put your name on there.
Nah,
Scotch the
it
Cat.
sticks. I started it before I knew that it was going to be an important tool. And
but now you know it's an important tool. Change the name.
yeah, but I'm Kate Herman. Like you can't get that name. Everybody's name.
Really? What
People know me as
there
Scotch.
you go. Follow her, Scotch the Cat. Check out some clips and everything. She's a great comedian. You can find her every other Monday and pretty much every Monday over at Grisly Pear too, doing my Not Quite Tuesday. You know what, Brian?
My favorite show.
Yeah. On Rocks and Cactus. Remember only. Peace.